back to the Wolf Pit and another episode, or should I say, marathon, of the What Are We Eating series. Unless you lived under a rock, no offense to Patrick Starr, for the past 40 years or so, you've had a cup of noodles or ramen noodle soup at least one time in your life. That's all I ate in college. Wait, I didn't go to college. That must have been when I took those herbal classes in Colorado. And as you can see, it was a very popular class. Anyways, ramen is dirt cheap. So cheap, they almost give it away. But that right there ought to tell you something about the quality of what we're eating. And before someone calls me pretentious, yet again, that's 2 times this week, for talking about food that's bad for us, like ramen noodle soup, I actually like and eat them once in a while. So put that in your pretentious pot and stir it for a while. Everybody buys these. People with limited incomes and people with unlimited incomes. They buy them individually out of vending machines, at the workplace, at convenience stores, and even by the cases at grocery stores. They buy them because they're dirt cheap, they're convenient, they're filling, and they taste good. But they're not good for us to eat often, which is the whole point and why I make these What Are We Eating videos. Which brings us to today's video on Maruchan's, or however you pronounce it, Taste of Asia's beef flavor Sukiyaki Ramen Bowl. Maruchan or Maruchan, yet another word that Larry cannot pronounce. They describe it as a traditional Japanese hot pot dish. Sukiyaki draws a bold, savory flavor from simmering various vegetables and meats and a seasoning of soy sauce and sugar. The ingredient list is long, as usual, for processed food. The one thing that stands out is there's a lot of hidden MSG in this, as well as MSG being listed as an ingredient. I personally don't have an issue with MSG, but I'm pointing this out to the people who want or need to know about it. A couple of the possible hidden forms of MSG are soy sauce, hydrolyzed corn, wheat, and soy proteins. That's just a couple I found with a quick glance. If I missed any, let me know what they are in the comments. Textured soy protein is another possible form of hidden MSG, but it's also used as a meat filler, also known as fake meat. There's nothing really wrong with it, I'm just not a big fan of it. This, and no actual beef being listed in the ingredients, just beef extract, explains why it's beef flavor and not beef Sukiyaki Ramen. Now for the nutrition facts, and once again, they break the serving size down to make the numbers look better. When is the last time you saw someone share a bowl of ramen? Yes, I know, this is a bigger one, but realistically, this is one serving for the average person. The whole bowl contains 480 calories, 20 grams of total fat, 9 grams of saturated fat, no cholesterol. That alone proves there's absolutely no meat in this. 64 carbohydrates, 4 grams of fiber, 14 grams of sugar, and 10 grams of protein. A little high on the saturated fat, but besides that, there's nothing horrible, until you get to the sodium. Lately, people have been asking me why I'm so hard on sodium, and they tell me sodium is good for us and we need it. I know and definitely agree with that. But moderation is obviously the key with anything, and when this meal contains 2,000 milligrams, 84% of your daily recommended allowance, that's excessive in my opinion. I'm basing my opinion solely on the data provided by the FDA. Is it right? Is it wrong? Should we consume more sodium? Should we consume less sodium? I'm not a doctor, so I really don't know. So take my opinion with a grain of salt, pun intended. And I'm really surprised at the best by date, unless this has been sitting on the shelf for 5 years. I honestly thought these would last indefinitely, at least longer than a can of Spam. And when you open it up, besides the ramen, you're going to have 2 small packages. One with the dehydrated vegetables and the textured soy protein, and the other one with the seasoning. I'm going to cook these with boiling water, and according to the directions, it says to open the lid halfway and add package number 1. And then it says to fill with boiling water to the inside fill line. Then close the lid firmly and let it sit for 3 minutes. After they set in water for 3 minutes, I remove the lid. Then add packet number 2, the flavor packet. And then give it a good mix until everything's well combined. And it was at this point that I realized the noodles were not done, so I popped it in the microwave for a minute. I thought these would be a little bit different than your average ramen noodles, but they weren't. They tasted pretty much the same, but the beef flavor was pretty strong. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I could have easily eaten this whole bowl by myself, but I took 2 bites, my daughter took 2 bites, and we tossed the rest. These are definitely edible and pretty tasty. I'll definitely continue to eat them every once in a while, but the smaller version. Thank you all very much for watching. Try these at your own discretion. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.